pivoting, and I'm going to be sharing some about what I'm about to do and listening to Patty Drew. Working on a groovy thing. All right. I have not been on StreamYard streaming to Facebook or YouTube in probably like a week and a half, just because I really haven't wanted to do it. I don't have a real reason outside of I just haven't really wanted to do it. Um, sometimes it'd be like that where you're just like, I'll pass. And I was kind of like that. Y'all know I quit smoking, and it kind of put me in a little bit of a pit, which was my intention. Okay, alarm clock. Stop. I'll just turn this one off. Anyway, maybe I'll do this. Yes, I think I will. Since I can. Hello, viewer. I'm just setting this up for myself. Baby. No, I don't want to record my bedroom. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I just haven't really felt like doing it. I've been coming to terms with losing my best friend. That was my best friend for my whole entire life. So, it's a new thing, but it's all good. So let me tell you, um, I'm pretty excited because I'm starting something new, and I get to tear down all the old shit that just doesn't work for me anymore. And I get to just leave it. And I don't have to feel sad about it. I don't have to feel guilty. None of that. I just get to quit and move on because it's mine. It's mine. I built it. If I want to tear it down and start something new, I can. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. Like, you know, why do we feel so averse to leaving behind stuff that we built? Like, it's okay. You can always build something new. Like, that won't be the last anything, especially if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, then go ahead and start again. That's what I'm going to do. That small group, Growth Warriors, I loved it. I tested some things. I saw what worked. I saw what didn't work. The Clubhouse, that is going bye-bye. Excuse me. It did not do what I wanted it to do, but I don't think I really had an intention for it. So like, I don't like to start things when I don't have a clear intention because they don't go anywhere. They don't really do anything. So with this, what I am planning to do now, I have a clear intention. I know what my intention is. I know what my goal is with it. And when I start, I'm starting with that in mind versus, oh, well, I'm just here to talk. I think I'm going to try this, to try this. Like, I've been doing a lot of testing, and that's fine. But when it comes to like really wanting to do something, you have to be intentional with it. So I saw somebody this morning was talking about, and I think I mentioned this already. She was talking about, she wasn't sure if she needed to close down her store. I think it's a boutique or something like that. And she was like, I've tried everything. I just don't know how to do it. And the thing is that like, you can't start something because you saw somebody else doing it and then think you're going to do it just like them. Because that ain't going to work. Like, you absolutely have to bring your own vibe to it. So even if it's a clothing store, you are selling to you. Like, you're the one that made you start it. There was a reason why you were like, oh, there's a need for this. It was probably because you felt like you couldn't find what you wanted. So you were trying to provide that to yourself and to others. So if you're selling to you, how do you sell to you? Sell it to you. You know yourself, right? And if you don't know how to sell it to yourself, because maybe you don't know yourself, well, then stop right there and get to know yourself. Stop right where you are and get to know yourself. Find out what's underneath all those layers. What's underneath all of those layers? It's okay to do that. It's important. Like, everybody who niches down or sets a target, and I think this is a really cool way to do it too. A lot of people like will create an avatar for their sales target. But like, again, it's you. It's literally you, because the reason why you started it was because you probably needed the support. You didn't see a resource out there. And so you were like, let me create this. So how would you sell to yourself? And it's okay, just like I was saying about everything that I'm about to tear down so that I can rebuild. It's okay to tear down and rebuild when you realize that something that you have already started creating isn't working. I think if people could realize that, like, success, healing, life, relationships, all of these things are non-linear. They're not going like this. It's literally loops, upsides, downsides, back turns, breaks, explosions, and restarts. And you have to be okay with that. When we look at creation overall, it was dark first and probably quite chaotic. And then it was light. So you want to be in the light before you didn't hit the chaos in the creation. You can't do that. Allow the things sometimes to break apart. And if you need to say, I'm going to break it apart, do that too. And I'm going to tell you this. If you are feeling the call to end something so that you can create something new, and you don't do it, that thing will also get ripped away from you because you have already been instructed to move away from it and you're not. So either you can listen and make the break and the change yourself, or you can lose it. Either way, it's got to be over with. Like, nothing lasts forever. And it's like, why do we, and this has been like a theme for me, like maybe the last couple weeks. It's like, why do we want to keep putting on shoes that don't fit? Oh, these are my favorite shoes. I'm just going to keep wearing them. Yes, yes. I now have a massive corn on my toe, but these are my favorite shoes. So I'm going to keep putting these shoes on because they're my favorite. But you can't even walk. Or now you need to go to the podiatrist because your toe has a bulb on it because your favorite shoes. When you could have just said, you know what? I really enjoy these shoes. And me and shoes, we had a good run, but now it's time for me to get new shoes. No, you want to be wallowing because you love your shoes or still wearing them. And when they hurt, I had this pair of Uggs a couple years ago. Well, 3 years ago. Actually, you know when I threw them away? I threw them away in November 2018 when I was ready to start Creative AF. I threw these boots away. They had a really big hole in the side of them. So they weren't keeping my feet warm, but they were my favorite shoes. So when I would walk, I would feel the air come in the side. And I remember my girl Sherelle that passed away was like, if you don't throw them damn shoes in the garbage. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And that year for Christmas, I bought myself a new pair of Uggs, and my mom had bought me a pair of boots too. I remember that. And, it was bittersweet because my friend was dead and I couldn't go and tell her, girl, I got new boots, But it was time for me to get new shoes. It was time for me to get new shoes. If I was going to become the bad bitch that I wanted to be, this is what you see in front of you right now, because I was not this person in 2018. I wasn't going to get there by wearing the shoes with the big ass hole in them. I wasn't going to be that person with the shoes that were talking like this. So when you say you want to change or grow or create something new, you're going to have to discard things, and things are going to have to go bye-bye. You cannot take everything with you into the future. Why would you even want to? So look at where we are as a collective right now. Like, this is a dope time that we're in. We are like, okay, so in the future, in the history books, they're going to be talking about this time and how something, because we don't know what we're creating yet. We are creating something new. Something was created out of this chaos that we're in. We got Omicron variant that they keep writing about. Won't be the last one, I'm sure. But we're creating something new. Our economy is going to start failing here soon. We're going to have food shortages and things like that. And I'm not glad at it, but it's something that I predicted in 2019. And when I was talking about this, people were looking at me like I was a wild fool. And I often felt crazy for even feeling like that. But oh well. when you get visions and you're not used to that, you sort of feel like that. Anyway, but we're creating something new. So this is a really cool time. Like, we get to be part of a new world where we have to live a different way. I think that's so cool. But I think it is scary for a lot of people who love it this way or the way it was before the pandemic. But there's no possible way that we can build we want change. We've been wanting it. And especially as it pertains to just, I think humanitarianism overall, we can't have one area change in this society. Like, the whole thing has to adjust because it all works together. It's kind of like whenever you're trying to exercise and spot reduce. We all know that's not really how it works. So the whole thing has to be built anew, and it's okay. But first, and this Pluto in Capricorn is going to continue to do its work until 2024. So the shifting is going to continue. So you've got to be able to figure out how to pivot all the time, especially right now, because otherwise you will be miserable trying to hang on to what has always been. You've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. So like I said, stop putting on shoes that don't fit, shoes that have holes in them, and thinking that you're going to evolve. No, you're just going to be you trying to be new in your old shoes. Let yourself put on new shoes, so that you can go where you're going. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to my next phase because, like I said, I'm doing this one with intention. I've done a lot of testing. I started trying to do Smart Love. I guess that was was it 2019? No, that was 2020. And I was trying to do my show and give advice or guidance or whatever and tips and stuff like that. But I wasn't confident. Like, I have the seminar coming up, Overcoming Imposter Syndrome. And I was suffering bad from imposter syndrome. Every time I would get on there and I would try to talk, I would be like, oh my God, these people are going to be like, she's a fraud. But like, I'm not a fraud at all. Like, I really do this work every day. And like, I'm the person that's calling myself fraud. You all are not calling me fraud. You're showing up to listen to what I'm saying. So that's how imposter syndrome works. And I really hope that you guys will join me. If you don't, it's fine. I'm still going to be talking that shit and doing the work. And I might put it out later. Who knows? But I just want everybody to be ready. So if you have an idea, a vision, a gift, a skill, something that you know how to do, you need to be figuring out how to capitalize on that and monetize it. Because like I said, when things start to go a little bit off moving forward and the way that we've been living becomes a thing of the past, please do not be going crazy when you could just be like, oh, well, it's all right because I can still get money or I'll still be able to survive. I know how to do XYZ. And when I started this business, that's why I'm back here full circle, right where I started, right where I was trying not to be because nobody wanted to listen to me. It was because I wanted people to be able to free themselves from the matrix, the system, whatever, and use their purpose to live. Now, I was not ready to do that because I was begging people to pay me $60 an hour to consult with me. And here I am now preparing contracts and closing deals for 4 and 5 figures. And that's not where I was in 2019 whenever I first started this. But it takes you time to get from point A to point B. And I did a lot of pivoting from the start to where I am now because I needed to learn all the things that I learned along the way. So don't quit. Just like I was saying to the girl earlier, do not quit. You just might need to change a little bit because whatever you're about to learn right here in this moment where you're frustrated, you will need in your next space. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to an event And I guess I'm going to go get ready to do that. I'm not sure. I feel kind of like, which is good. I guess this is good. I feel like I'm vibing. I am going to an event that is being hosted by the Vibes HTX. But I don't know. I just feel different. So I guess that's good. I guess that's good. No. I don't know. I'm bringing out some good energy. Oh, I wanted to talk about that movie, that show series, True Story with Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. I was triggered by it, of course, because, and not to say that my sister would do anything like what that Carlton person did, but she hasn't always been nice to me. And y'all know I've talked about that. She got mad at me in December and was like, or not in December, in July. And she was like, "You're always talking about me. And I feel like it's bullying." I'm like, but this is my truth, man. I got to tell my story. But anyway, it was triggering to me just because, we did grow up together and there was a lot of things. And that was just like, but there are so many people who have relatives like this. When you become successful, they see you as like almost like I think it's triggering to people to see you moving into where you're supposed to be and moving in your purpose, and they're not doing it for themselves. So it makes them crazy, and they're like, well, what can I do to bring this person back down to my level? Because damn it, don't you dare try to rise up. And I hate that. I hate it because there's so many people like that out there. And I'm like always talking about competition energy and how there's just no need for us to be operating there. Like it's really not. And that's why I'm always like talking about finding what you're good at. Oh, hey, Amir, how you doing? But yeah, it's like, you need to be finding what you're good at, because you have your own stuff that you're supposed to be doing. And the longer you focus on what somebody else is doing, the longer it is going to take you to get to where you're supposed to be going with what it is that you are supposed to be building. Like, obviously, he wasn't a comedian, and this is the fucking thing. All of the energy that Carlton put into sabotaging his brother, if you are able to concoct a plan of that magnitude and have people following you who are willing to fucking run their head into a wall for you, imagine what you could do if you could work for the light. Imagine what you could do if you could be a light worker. If you can do all of that, then imagine what you could do if you were operate from love. And that's what I hate to see in people like that. Like, that is power. It's power, but you're misusing it to sabotage somebody else. If he put that energy on preparing and growing his own shit, he would have skyrocketed. The lengths he went to sabotage his brother when he could have focused that energy on growing his own shit. And people really do this. Like, maybe not to that, and probably to that extreme, but people really do this, you guys. So it's like you focus on how to trip up the next person versus how to make yourself succeed. Your focus should be on you. Anytime your focus is on somebody else or making them fail or wanting them to fail, desiring for them to fail, or just like microaggressions or keeping them small, that type of stuff, you're misfocusing and you're wasting your energy. Absolutely. Okay. So that's all I have. Like I said, I'm starting something new in December. So this is probably going to be like, I don't know how often I'll be streaming on here, but I'm trying to be more intentional with my morning vibe. But when I first started the morning vibe, it was for my small group participants only. So I'm just not sure how I want to work that out. But again, like, that's part of what I'm doing. I'm I'm either discarding or keeping things that work. And I'm not going to have any feelings about it. Like, I know a lot of people love the morning vibe. A lot of people feel like it really helps them. If you love it and it helps you so much, then come to the small group. Okay? Because if that's where I'm gonna do it, that's where I'm gonna do it. So I don't feel like I need to accommodate everybody because it really wears me thin. And I have been a people pleaser since I was a little girl. And I will be like, oh no, I don't want anybody to miss it. I want people to be able to have access to it. And I will wear myself out for y'all, but not anymore. And I love you, but like, I cannot love anybody more than I love myself. And that might sound selfish and it might sound self serving. And I don't give a damn because at the end of the day, this body that I'm using, this energy that this body is using, I have to cultivate it. I have to keep it cute. I have to make sure that it's healthy and on the level. Nobody else is going to do that for me. So I can't just be like, well, everybody said they wanted me to show up and I just got to show up every day. And then I'm over here like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. And I'm just pouring out, you know, that's not 2 cups. And I'm about 2 cups. So if a relationship becomes where it's not 2 cups, well, then 1 cup is going to leave the room and that's going to be me. So I'm out. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later. Just be paying attention to my feed for whatever I'm going to drop to share. I am going to be changing the name of the YouTube channel and the podcast feed. And I'm going to be going full throttle on my media thing because that's what I came here to do, is be on y'all's screen and in your ears telling the truth. So, you know, it is what it is. And I'll be doing more writing. And like I said, I will be devoting myself to the areas in which I want to devote myself to that are going to be for people who are willing to invest in themselves. Like if I'm just giving out information to people who are not really trying to heal or get help or anything like that. So like I'm talking, you're turning me off and then you're going out to fuck around. And I'm tired. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm not going to keep doing it. And I don't feel bad about it. And being that, like I said, I was a people pleaser for a long time. In the past, I would have been like, I don't want to do that. I don't give a fuck. I love you guys, like I said, but I love me too. And me have to preserve this body and this energy. And I shouldn't, period. And that's it. So, all right. So I'll see you guys later. I probably will just do regular lives from now on the feed whenever I want to. And I'll just make this streaming situation more focused to, like I said, that small group. It is called the Cosmic Beach because I'm about the cosmos and also like just like water and emotions and healing that way. And I really, really want to get into this mother wound shit and bring the ladies, and no shade to the fellas, because I know some of y'all are interested in healing too. But I think really for that to take effect, for men to be like, okay, you know what? I think it's important for me to be healing. I think women have to set an example for healing in order for that to take place. So like the worrying about whether or not John is going to do his work, it's not going to be the wave. Like we have to cultivate the community of women for us to change the wave, I think. So that's what I want to do in the Cosmic Beach, is just have like really dope moon circles and like fucking vent sessions about these kids and, you know, how we're tired, even venting about your husband if you need to, like whatever you need to say, you know. Exactly. That's exactly right. I mean, it's the patriarchy, but like we need to be building our own shit privately that's like focused on actual work, because this shit is going to fall down. As we know, like I said a couple times, the economy is about to start failing and everything is about to start going wonky. But women are the cornerstone of this community. And it's like, first of all, Black women are the key, being that we are supremely magic. But our white counterparts need to know their role and their position also in this. So like they have work to do that must be done, like, and I don't have any problem saying that like they owe us and must do their work. So that's where I'm at. So I'm looking forward to the Cosmic Beach and just getting into this femininity because I feel like it's the medicine for this. They do. Like I once had a lady right by my house. I was at the bus stop and the lady was like, I was at the bus stop and she came up to my window and she was like, can I help you? And I'm like, you know what? Bitch, yes, you can. You can pay into a fund to support my sisters, bitch. You can pay into a fund to support my sisters. All this work that we've been doing and all of the growth that we're trying to do, we've been trying to come up and cultivate our community and our family since the beginning of this shit. We don't have the resources, not really. Y'all bitches got the fucking resources. Yeah, you want to help me, Suzanne? You can pay into this fund to support my sisters is what you can do, bitch. Like, it really ran me hot because I'm like, first of all, this is my neighborhood. And then the thing about it was, I instantly was like, you know what? I should make my kids some tags. Just hear me out. Pay up, Methany. I should make my kids some tags that say where we live. And I was like, that's a fucking slave card. You're not making this for children in 2021. And I was like, oh my God, that is a slave card. Of course, it's me talking to myself. But I was like, the fact that I really thought that was innovative lets me know we have made almost 0% progress in this. Where are we that I'm still like, oh, well, let me make sure that my kids have a label that says that they belong here in 2021. So yes, if you're asking me how you can help, you absolutely can help, because how many Black women like myself are single, and we all know that part of the reason why there's so much single motherhood in the Black community is because of the destruction of the Black family. And all of this stems from white women. I honestly believe that white women are the ones who be in charge of racism overall from the beginning, and their men just do what they say. So I'm like, I'm single because of the replication of this over and over and over and over again. So yes, you can help me by paying into this fund to support my sisters. So you can get the fuck away from my window if you ain't talking about no coins, bitch. Miss, you could write me a check. Like, they had me so upset that day. I was like, I'm fixing to create a flyer and I'm gonna go door to door around here and be like, would you like to pay into the Single Black Mothers Fund? Because y'all are tripping. Because you're turning your nose up at me because I'm not parenting the way you're parenting, but I can't. I simply cannot parent the way you parent. But you are turning your nose up at me because I'm unable to do. Instead of being like, you know what? That's another woman. Let me support. Because that ain't how they think. And every time somebody's like, oh, well, are you a feminist? No, I'm not. Because feminism does not even include me. Feminism doesn't have shit to do with Black women. Feminism is about, we want to vote and we want rights because y'all let Negro men vote. Or y'all let Negro men do this and that. We want it too. Sign Susan B. Anthony or whoever the fuck. So like, that's where I get frustrated because I get frustrated about it because see, Shakara keeps using the word snow locust and it's killing me because I can't. Anyway, that's enough ranting. I'm leaving. I love you guys. So I guess moving forward, y'all can expect more of me raging about the equity of Black women because we deserve. And I feel like, everybody, like I said, they want to scream about womanhood. Let's get down to it. Let's get to the truth of it then. Since we're talking about being a community of women, let's fucking do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all can fix what y'all fucked up and pay into this fund to support me and my sisters. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Don't be a self-hater. Remember to stay blessed, stay black and thrive, and all of that jazz. Okay, bye-bye.